only comes down here, and I was included in this, and so were you at some point as well, Denzel.
What's up?
We only used to come down here because you had nothing better to do, and it was funny to watch drama.
Yeah.
Quite frankly,
and
we can't have that happening anymore.
It's one of those situations, right, where it's kind of like the example that I use is like whenever I don't think you were, you might.
Yeah, it does look badass. I love it.
Dean went on his rampage of wanting to waterboard Mandem Records artists just because.
Yeah.
Like shit like that
I think I know how to. I think I know how to solve that, but that's we'll have that conversation later. But I know how to resolve that for sure. What was the? I mean, I didn't make the call.
Hey, Bella.
Hi, Bella.
All right, so we were talking about we were just kind of going over having like kind of like a meeting about like I mean, obviously we now that Odessa is off the board,
that is Odessa the cop, right? Like
I have no idea what her history is, to be honest.
Okay.
Chloe had found her and gave me her.
Bella, why was she recommended to you? For what reason?
Chloe, that was the only one that Chloe was able to get in touch with. I think she had called somebody who recommended her.
What's the reasoning that we haven't pursued Grace?
Grace is at Ecstasy. She said it was a conflict of interest.
Okay, yeah, but money talks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We don't have money though.
I'd be happy to.
It's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I just think a legal person is very, very close to the backbone of this place, and even if we don't, because I'll be honest, in the minute we don't really need a legal person. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on? Not a lot.
The only
Contract
thing
just
that
needs to be relooked at. Yeah, and done. I agree. But Grace could subcontract a contract for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't need to be our lawyer to do a contract.
Yeah, I want to get a regular employment contract and then just revamp the artist contract.
Mm-hmm. So
there is currently an artist contract. Do you have that? Can you share it to me by any chance?
Yeah, I can show you mine.
Thank you.
The artist contract's pretty good. It's just we need to rework it to where like the just regular employees, like the marketing and sales team and stuff like that, can sign it. Where is mine?
So, Bella, I mean, like I say, if anybody wants to cut me off, do it at any time. But so just from start to finish, right? So an artist, so say yourself, say when you were an artist, right? So your talent, obviously, you're a singer, you make music. What part of that do you do yourself? So you do the recording yourself?
Yeah, I do auto recording myself.
The beat, do you have any part in that, or is that something that would be purchased with foreign currency, or would people make that beat for you?
For me, I use foreign currency depending on who I go to, what producer I go to.
So
some people I use Id City.
Yes. So after that's happened,
each producer has their own way of doing things. Like for Ava, for example, whenever I purchase beats from her, she has a low contract she likes me to sign.
So when you're purchasing a beat from Ava, for example, what would you pay with? Would you pay with currency here, or would that be foreign currency?
She accepts both. So like if I pay her here, she gets a higher cut of the splits on like Spotify and stuff like that. But if I pay her here, it's 50K.
Okay. So in regards to people that are able to help people produce it, MDMR. So you record, you got your beat, you record on it, whatever. It needs to be mixed, mastered. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have that does that and will do that regularly for artists at MDMR?
So Yellow Bear does a lot of mine, but he is backed up royally. Ava used to whenever, but then she had stepped away and stepped back from it.
So Yellow Bear, what's his government name?
He's from the Green County. I don't remember what his government name is.
So he's not employed here.
He's not employed here. He's employed out of internationally at MDMR internationally.
Gotcha.
Okay. So he's the person that does the majority.
He does a lot of our stuff, yes. Like I said, Ava's done one of my songs, but she stepped back from doing it, and there's a couple of new people that I haven't worked with yet.
Just out of curiosity, so Yellow Bear, how did he become affiliated with MDMR here?
Who
brought him in?
Fixer. That's who worked on Fixer stuff whenever he was out of.
So is he Fixer's
county.
producer?
Yes. He's produced all of mine except one.
I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just curious. So say, the relationship between Fixer and this label didn't rebuild, okay? And it stayed as him never being employed here, right? What would happen if then Yellow Bear turned around and said, "I'm done with MDMR"?
I highly doubt it, because most of his work is done in and out of city.
Yeah,
so.
I get that. So what? So so the majority of it is foreign currency based.
Yes, for him, yes.
Okay, and obviously that's something that is required to get his services. Okay, fair enough. That's understandable. So you don't think Fix is going to have any impact on the relationship between him and MDMR? You think that's going to continue?
No,
no,
that's a business deal, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm fairly positive that's not going to cause conflict.
Okay, that's fine. So the beats are, I suppose for people to source on their own. If they haven't got full, if they're not paying foreign currency for the full licenses to the beats, they can't go on the radio. Therefore, they don't generate any income into the city. Is that correct?
Yeah, so they have to have exclusive rights to it. You can purchase exclusive rights depending on where you go for the beat. Even if you go internationally and you purchase online and stuff like that, you just have to purchase exclusive rights and have a way to prove that they're exclusive rights. If anybody's in city, like Ava, for example, she has a contract that you sign that states that you have exclusive rights and you can use it.
So who do you have that does, so in terms of beats within MDMR, is it just Ava that's able to, and is it Ava and Yellow Bear that are able to do those?
No, they're not the only ones. So Vass is pretty new. Black and White, or Ethan, I think his name is.
Yeah. He didn't come around no more though, right? Or
I
does he? I haven't seen him in a long time.
I haven't seen him in a while. I did just purchase a beat from him. We just connected through emails.
Yeah. Basically, we're trying to figure out what assets the company has.
And we could also work with other producers from the other companies as well. The most active people. Give me just a second to look.
So that option is available to you. So what I'm saying is, so the producers at Wu Chang will still work with you guys.
Oh yeah, I'm working with one right now, and then I'm working with Sydney, who just went to Ecstasy.
Right. Okay. So that help. Yeah, that's gonna help a lot because.
Yeah, I promise that most producers don't have any issue with working between the labels.
But I mean, I know that, so is that relationship, I suppose, rejuvenated a bit from what happened when it was kind of the drama with Wu Chang, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever.
I know there was a bit of tension, wasn't there, in regards to when there was the.
But how does that work? Sorry. So what do you pay them in city? Are they getting a cut of make the song?
Every single person's different. Every single producer's different. Some people only accept foreign currency.
I'll be honest, is the majority foreign currency?
That I've worked with, I've mostly worked with Yellow Bear, so most of my songs are paid through foreign currency. Ava, I paid foreign currency, and then I paid her in-city currency for the last song, the last beat that I purchased from her.
Is there anybody that does So I mean, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know. So will Ava mix and master your songs as well?
She used to, but she had stepped back from it. Now that she's back around, she might be doing it again soon. Okay, so that's the conversation I haven't had with her yet.
If somebody wanted to get a beat and something mixed and mastered, is there the facilities to have that done for full Los Santos currency? Or is that not something that is currently available at MDMR?
It honestly depends. And then sometimes it's circumstantial. So you'd have to talk to each producer individually to get an idea. They kind of, whenever it comes to it, they're basically independent contractors.
Okay. I know what you mean. They have a label that they, I suppose, work for, but they're willing to work with everybody because it's mutually beneficial for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I understand.
But it comes an issue as an artist.
We have other producers, but some are not active right now.
So
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's funny. You have to apologize.
Well, sorry to interrogate you. We're just trying to get our head around this because there's a lot.
It's complicated.
It's fine. Just talk over me. I don't take offense to it. It's so do you believe some contribution towards the lack of music may be that people struggle to make these foreign currency payments as much as others?
100% we're dependent on the producers, whether or not it's foreign currency or time. For example, I have one song right now that's with Yellow Bear, and then I have 4 different songs that spread out between. So I had Class working on one. Now I'm finding a producer from Wu Chang to produce this song that I'm working on. Then I have another one that I have. Who's doing this next one? Oliver Blood. Me and him are working on a song together, and he's going to be producing it.
Will you get paid by the state for all of those? Will they all go on the radio?
Once I submit it, yeah.
Right,
As I'm working on it, no, but once I submit it, yeah. So like most of us, we're just dependent on. Sorry, on waiting for them to get to our song. So like I've been waiting on a song from Yellow Bear since like April.
Right. So there is a bit of a delay.
Yes. It's not that we're not working on music. It's, we don't produce our own shit. And like I'm waiting on Adsy to record his part because we did a collab. I'm waiting on Adsy. And then I have another song that I just sent with Sydney, but I have to rework it because it's not up to par with the other music that I have. So we're just like kind of revamping it.
So you're saying that unfortunately, regardless of who wants to put music out, unless there's somebody who's self-producing, and pumping their own stuff out, there's always going to be a backlog.
Yeah, you will have people. Yeah, the more music that comes out is typically
unless they
due
go completely overseas and you know what I mean, completely like to an overseas producer,
Yeah, and that still is also they have their own
expenses.
Well, not just expenses, but they have their own turnaround time too. So like it'd be like 2 to 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. It just depends on who you want to go to, and quality, price, and quality speaks. So you kind of get what you pay for, and you get the amount of time it takes to do it depending on what you pay for. They have express prices. So like for my Hard to Love song that just came off, I paid a lot extra.
Producing Prime, like one day delivery.
Yeah, I paid Yellow Bear extra to finish one song that I did relatively quickly.
If you don't mind me asking, and this I'm only asking this because I feel like it's relevant. In terms of foreign currency, right? How much would you pay for a production and a mix and master as such?
So with
Very different to each producer, right?
So
what's the average? Yeah, what's the average?
So
I'm just curious.
Yellow Bear, he kind of works with people individually, but
is this public information? Is this,
I would put earmuffs on for this part.
I wouldn't even say that if it's sensitive like that, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Keep it to yourself.
I'll just say it's reasonable. It's reasonable.
I'll be honest,
for the
I have no
quality
idea
of
what
work.
reason.
Me neither.
Listen.
After a weekend in London,
delivery, our food delivery
So,
is reasonable.
Let's say up to £60 an hour. Up to.
I'm
in a job.
Yeah. Wait, how long does it take to do a job? How long does it take for like 10? I don't know.
I have an agreement where it's usually about 2.5 to 3 hours, but again,
okay, so I see why. Right. Okay. So I see. I see. Yeah. Okay. I understand why a lot of people are struggling to push songs. If they're having to fork out that much foreign currency per song, it makes no sense. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Now, granted, what I pay is less than that, but I've gotten quotes for up to that
even
price.
half that is. Listen, everyone's budgets are different, right? Even half of that would be considered a lot to some people.
Oliver Blood is tremendously more internationally.
So how does just this is me asking from somebody who doesn't really know. I know bits, but so a new artist comes to this city, right? And they're like, "Hi, I'd like to do music." How do they even get it? Is that amount of money that has to be exchanged at least for you to make a song, right?
Unless you find a producer that's willing to accept and
So it's an expensive career, really.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And then especially when you're new to it, you're not getting those splits that you want right away. You have to really, really, really push your music in and internationally.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's opened my eyes a bit. 'Cause
Yeah, no, I mean the thing is that like that's beyond something as a CEO or assistant CEO or even as the label
Yeah, no, absolutely.
themselves that
Yeah.
can you know what I mean fix. That's not a us issue. We okay.
Yeah.
So-
Like I
so-
said,
so
though,
what-
there are
so
producers that are willing to
is
work
the-
in city only,
yeah.
but
Is the another question I'm just gonna ask? Okay, I'm just gonna fire it off. So, is the reason that Wu Chang is more popping? Is it because a lot of the artists are more self-sustainable in terms of the music they put
yes.
out? So, if they put a song out, would that song then generate to cover the cost of the song?
Yes.
And that doesn't tend to happen as much here.
Especially artists like Bimbo, Saint Noel,
Yeah.
and then they all have their own pocket producers, from my understanding, that
Right.
work mostly and quickly with their music because they know how much of a return it is, and they both, all benefit each other in the end. But like they get thousands and thousands of listens, where like I have, my most listened to song at this moment in time is at 4,000 listens. So I've made a whole $20.
Did you say
outside of
that
city.
any of these producers, any of them are willing to work strictly strictly like just dollars, like rather than foreign currency, or no? I mean, I
Yes,
understand why.
there are some. So like Dick Chicklets, I can't speak.
Oh.
He had a price of in-city currency. Ava had her in-city currency price.
Do you know how much, by any chance?
Ava was at 50, and I believe Dick was more towards like the 100,000.
That's way better deal.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, God, yeah.
obviously. Oh yeah, that is a way better deal. But I mean, it's still, as an artist, if you make a song and you only get paid 75k, but you've had 450k to make it, you're still losing money.
Is that 100k an hour?
No, from
Or 100k a song?
between those, it was like 50 to 100K for a song. Yeah.
Oh, that's whoa, that's way better because your song's making profit.
No,
Yeah.
75k. Yeah, but no, because there's the song and it makes 75k going on the radio.
Yeah, but while you're writing the
money.
lyrics, you could be hunting, couldn't you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, while you're making the music, you could be signed in. All right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we're making receipts here, like.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it all has its pros and cons. It really truly does. And whenever you want something to be successful, you have to invest the money and the time in it originally. It takes a lot of time to get to that point.
From that point of view, though, you could actually come to Los Santos. You could earn your, like I say, your money right in the studio. You could pay a producer in Los Santos to make you music. It could then be listened to overseas, which could then, in theory, generate you overseas income.
Yeah, that's usually the
actually,
better
but that, I think, as from my minimal knowledge, knowing obviously people like Dwayne and SK and whatnot, let's just say the average person isn't going to be generating a significant amount of
correct
foreign currency.
Like I said, foreign currency, I've made a whole $20.
Yeah, like you need to be hitting like, well, let me think, it would be seven figures for it to I
really
mean,
pay off.
for it to really be like doing something. And let's be honest, as great as the artists are here, they don't have that sort of exposure. It's not because they're not good enough, just the exposure isn't there for them to be hitting.
Now, granted, the potential's there. The potential's always there. It's just how much you put into it. So like you're gonna lose time and money whenever you're starting out, and it could take months, it could take years before you get the listens that you want, but you're not gonna get there unless you put the time and money into it. So like I just consider it an investment.
No, for sure. I mean, and I think for me personally, even though I don't do anything like this, I feel like a lot of people do it for the love of doing it as well, rather than a job, right? So
yeah,
it's a hobby. You're investing into your hobby, which is great. Now, I guess the bigger picture and what we're getting at here is obviously we're trying to make some changes. We're trying to sort of revitalize this place a little bit. And there's no denying that there is a lot of issues, and some of them aren't within our control, whether we like it or not. Like that is a big fucking issue that we can't resolve. Now, I mean, you've been here longer than me and Saint have, and I've asked Denzel the same question, and anyone that I've known that's been around this place, where the fuck would you start? That is like a genuine question because we're looking at the list of employment, and there is a lot of people on here that definitely don't come through that door.
Oh yeah. I mean, give me just a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
You're
take your
good.
time. Saying you missed it, but TLDR, the issue is producers. People want to make music, but they can't because they don't have producers, and 90% of these producers are wanting a foreign currency that people can't really afford to pay.
Yeah, so our biggest thing is gonna have to be finding more producers.
Around 200 quid a song, Saint.
What's that?
Oh,
So-
are
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
That's a foreign currency.
Oh, and that's just the production. I don't know. Does that always include a beat, Bella, or no?
The beat's usually at a set price, or if you
So
get a custom beat
as well.
If you get a custom beat, they also charge per hour too.
Yeah, so that's like minimum. So sorry. So you said that looking for producers. What about what we wanted to do was speak to each active individual that comes through here and find out what skill set they have available, and kind of go from there, because it seems that people need to work with each other to obviously get songs out there. You know, you said there's a lack of producers and stuff like that. I don't know if it's a case of like people aren't speaking up because they're a bit concerned, they don't think the skills are up to scratch, or what.
What we're gonna need to do is, and then I plan on doing this about the meeting, I'm going to have to email some people to see when they're gonna be around and if they can make this meeting. Like, that, it's just gonna have to be something that I'm gonna have to do, even though I don't want to.
No, that's understandable.
I think we should not always. Also, I think we should also talk to other producers at other companies and give them an option to be able to come over here and network with the artists. I feel like that we should be welcoming the other producers.
Absolutely.
Sure,
100%.
100%. See, I mentioned that, and I was advised that like that's kind of a no-go. Like they kind of
Yeah, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Honestly.
No, I thought no. I thought
What were you advised
he
against?
wasn't told it was like a not allowed. It was more of a. I'll be honest, I thought the relationship was that damaged because of what had gone on with.
Nah.
So if that's not the case, then that's brilliant. That's
For some people, it might be like, I don't know a lot of these people directly, but for example, like Rich Chanel, he's working on one of my songs, and he has no issue working with other artists. Sydney at Ecstasy now, she has no problem working with other artists. Now, as far as Red goes, I've seen him swing by the studio a time or two, and probably works with a few artists here. I don't know, like, what's his name? Shit. Is it like Nico Rain or something like that? Like, I don't know how they feel about it, but typically they're open to working with other artists.
Okay.
But we need to make sure that we that welcome them.
Oh, for sure. Well, that's the thing. We're trying to change the just the general environment around here. You know, because
thank you guys for
people,
the follows.
if people are coming in and people are arguing and threatening to kill each other, it kind of gives off a bad impression. So
yeah, a little bit.
yeah, just a tad, you know. So we're trying to change the environment around here a little bit and make sure everybody's feeling welcomed. Like I say, we definitely want to do more pop-up shows. I mean, we have a flyer. I mean, I'm sure Saint will be happy to send it to you. Basically, just letting everyone know that, you know, I don't think we're going to advertise it straight away, because I think it may be worth taking the time to look through and see who we have at present, focus on what we currently have, see what they are capable of, where they need help, what assets they bring, and then once we've figured out what we have, then start outsourcing a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. I kind of started to like type something up to send people, to email people. That's kind of my intentions on getting people here for that meeting that we really desperately need to have. But like,
when you say the meeting, so are you referring to the one with management or as a whole, all MDMR
the one as a whole with everybody, artists, you know, everybody.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Interns,
No, I
stuff
agree.
like that.
I would very much, like I say, I did say that I personally want to talk to everybody and, like I say, just find out a little bit more about them, what they can bring, what they have, what they think they're lacking, etc., where they want this to go, where they need help with. and whatnot. And I know that Ava said she was happy to do that on my behalf.
Yeah.
I don't want to rush her, but I do think it needs to be done ASAP. So if she can't be around, it may be something that I just start working on regardless, because I think it is something that needs to be done. Because it seems that there's a lot of people that don't want to reach out, or they don't really talk. Like earlier, Denzel has told me that apparently it's happened a few times, but Block Boy had a sudden outburst about how he wants to leave and all this and that. So I basically just told him, like, listen, give us some time. We're trying to resolve this. We're trying to fix it. We're trying to make it better, but you have to give us some time. So he said he's
Yeah.
happy to do so. He had a complaint regarding
Were you
money.
aware of that?
The thing is
Were you
then-
actually aware of him wanting to leave?
who, me? No.
No.
Exactly. People. That's my point. People don't. It seems that there's a lack of communication. People aren't really talking. I mean, I had a few of the employees tell each other to be quiet when I walked over, as if I'm some scary man. Like, listen, I'm literally doing the opposite. I want you to talk. I want you to tell me what's going on. We want to help you, because all of this is news to us. We've personally never worked in an environment like this, and don't get me wrong, we probably have bitten off more than we can chew, but we're asking everybody to as a whole to help. That includes obviously you two. It seems that we have to get everybody on board, you know?
Yeah. Like, I knew Block Boy wasn't sure about me being COO. I know he had his doubts because he's never actually seen me work in that type of fashion, and not too many people have. But hopefully if he sticks around and sees what we do from here on out, like, hopefully he changes his mind. But the thing is they're gonna go to Wu-Chang, and if they don't have anything to, like, for example, like we're talking about with the big artists over there, and they're kind of all helping each other out. If you're not going and already kind of self-sufficient, you're gonna have a hard time getting anything different or anything more from there than what you would here. Because I worked there, I was an intern there, and like there's absolutely no help given over there as far as my experience was.
So they can help you as a ready-made artist, but if you're looking to become one, it's pretty much impossible.
It's hard unless you connect with them individually and get kind of on a personal level with them. It is very hard. Not to say the option's not there, because they are a handful of people that that are willing to get to know other people. But
who's the next big star at MDMR, Bella?
Well, hold on.
I feel like I don't want to answer that question.
Why?
No, that makes sense. I mean, to be fair, I've only heard of or seen a few people. That Tim Panic guy's quite new, right?
Yeah,
he was pretty
he's really
good.
But who do you think's got the potential, Bella? That's what I'm saying. Like,
honestly, I think we all do. It just depends on what we put into it.
No, but be honest. Who do you think? Who? Like, I know everyone has, but who do you think's the next? Who do you think's? Even if it's yourself, why wouldn't you say yourself? There needs to be more of that in here. There needs to be more confidence.
I'm the next big star.
I mean, I agree, but I think it's more a case of like she doesn't want to imply one person's better than the other, even though even though you're saying she isn't, which I get what you're saying. It's like you saying, who's better than me, or saying at doing this job. Obviously,
well,
you know what I mean?
Because people can become a star at different times. That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
it's also
there's
in
people
different
that are further
genres.
along there's people that are further along the path to stardom than other people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Ava's a big star, and I feel like it's easy to say that she's a big star. When Fixer was here, it's easy to say that he was the big star. SK, stuff like that. It's easy to say that. Now, as far as next go, it would be kind of difficult to compare myself to Block Boy, for instance, because we're two completely different genres and we have two different, target audiences.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But what I'm saying is, a star isn't necessarily comparable. Like, if think about back home in the UK.
Well, how about
Ed Sheeran's a big star, but so is P Money. You know what I'm saying?
So rather than like present her with the same question over and over again, why are you asking her this? Where's it leading to?
Because I'm wondering if there's any like talent.
There's definitely,
you think
there's definitely
potential. Okay. Yeah, but we don't want to focus on one individual or a set of individuals, right? That's the whole point that I'm trying to make with me having a conversation with each individual and finding out what assets and skills they bring, where they feel like they lack, and seeing if we can get them to work together to create a masterpiece together. Because a lot of the time, someone might be good at one thing but not good at another thing, and they're just too scared to say that.
Yeah.
But then you know what I mean? Another person is the complete opposite, but if they just spent some time together, they could
Well,
create something that's significantly better.
a lot of us, I feel like, are doing it. Like for me, for example, this new cringy heartbreak song that I'm writing, like I've gotten Chloe's opinion on it. I've gotten Block Boy's opinion. I've messaged Raiden about it because things that I hear from it or don't hear, they can hear and they can give me constructive criticism back.
Why are you
So
doing a
we've been.
heartbreak song now? What's happened?
Oh, I mean, I started that whenever Zale broke up with me the first time.
Turn it to the bathroom.
Now it's just
God.
carrying over to the second time.
What, has he broke up with you again?
Oh.
It's complicated.
Oh, so is he still working here as a designer?
Oh yeah, he's still working here as a
Okay.
designer.
He's still in the Vargos?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What's the deal with Pixie? Because last time I remember she was demanding a house or she was going to leave.
I talked to her recently and she said she didn't want to leave, and like me and her have no hard feelings against each other, so I'm assuming she's staying.
Does she still want a house?
I hope not. Cuz I don't feel like at this point in her career in MDMR that she would deserve it. Honestly, I don't mean that in an
Does she not
ugly
get
way.
paid money for just being here, like when she first turned
does.
up?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She gets
Yeah.
receipts, and I believe she got a sign-on bonus. Don't quote me on that though. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, I'm just waffling now, to be honest, just to try and find out bits more information. But at the end of the day, thanks to the person in charge, and
Yeah.
you know, at least you've got somebody above you to confide in.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
But I mean, honestly, we're all busting our ass. Like, I'm not going to say we're not. We all have lyrics that we've been working on. We all been, dancing between different songs and stuff like that. It's just time. Honestly, time, money, and then just being dependent on other people in order for the song to get out there. Like, I have a fantastic little pop punk song that I've recorded, and I'm just waiting on Atsy. He's been out of town for a while, and, he needs to record his part eventually.
Yeah.
So, yep, it is what it is. What was that?
What was that?
Dear, it's just me laughing.
I see that.
Hey, Solomon.
But I'll be emailing people, touching base with everybody. And hopefully I can get an idea of when they'll be here so I can, talk to them face to face. But there's just kind of some things that I have to email about,
Oh yeah, no, I get it. I think we're pretty much done. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. As always, Denzel,
Oh,
Oh.
do I trust you to have access to this?
Oh,
wow.
that's.
Do you want to be
Wow,
on the
that's
management
crazy.
updates?
If you
Yeah.
want to, you send me a mate. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah. Use the management updates. Anything that you want, like say anything at all, any ideas, any updates, anything. Just please put it on there so we can make a note of it.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm 20.
Get that?
Thank you guys for coming in for the follows. I really appreciate it.
I can't believe I'm turning 21 again. That's crazy. Wild. Yeah. It's crazy.
Right.
Oh,
Hey,
Aiden,
good meeting.
Have you seen the response that he just put
Yeah,
on
I
there?
have. Yeah. So I want to speak to Harlow. I've said I already want to have a conversation because I really want to know how
Wow.
when the funding comes in, because I don't know, because with a lot of these things, it's a lot of these things are like, oh, but it's a government thing, and then they'll go like, hey, can we have it? And they'll go, yeah, we'll sort it, and then they'll just wait forever for the government who like aren't really asked, right? So with a
Yeah.
lot of these things, it's a case of giving them a kick up the arse, obviously the government that is, and saying, hey, yo, listen, we need this, please, like, let's go, come on. So I don't care,
Yeah.
I'll be that guy. If I need to be that guy, I'll be that guy. So
Okay, that's fair.
I want to speak to her and say, like, is that what it is? Is it a case of saying like, hey, we've been waiting, come on now, because if it
Yeah,
is, I'll fucking do it.
Harlow is gonna have to be around probably within the next few days, cause she needs to help me with the payout for the artists and stuff from MDMR sponsoring the block party, for example. So she'll be around.
Okay.
And I'll be able to ask her those questions, cause I have no idea
Yeah,
how much
please.
money we even have in the bank to be able to begin to consider sign-on bonuses and shit like that, and funding more events. So I need to get with her
Okay.
on that, and I'm gonna actually write that down as a question.
Sure, that's good. All right, I think we're done. What do you want to do, Denzel? Non-MDMR stuff. Go figure some
Alright.
stuff out. Right, yeah, it was nice seeing you. Let me know if you need
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
all right?
Yeah, same. Actually, let me get your phone number because I don't think I have it. Or send me a text on mine.
Yeah. It's gonna be. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
I think do I have you?
Might be. I don't know. Who knows?
This
these
one's
days, you know,
mine.
Who knows? But it's just. Yeah.
8410.
There you go.
Yep, yep. And it's J, right? I've got that.
Yep,
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Perfect, perfect. I'll save you.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, of course. Call me if y'all need anything else.
Will do. Thank you. Bye.
Say no to cake violence. Cake crime is the worst
No.
crime.